My mother was always abusive. When I was little, she once hit me hard in the face because she didn't like something I said. She has this habit of belittling you, humiliating you, and controlling you. She is very controlling of what I do, doesn't let me do some things, but she doesn't know she does it. She thinks she's right and that you should just suck it up. She always tells me she loves me and wants the best for me, but she isn't helpful. Once, she threatened to delete herself if I didn't call my dad. They were broken up at the time. She would lock herself up in the bathroom to pretend she was overeating on Tic Tacs, and me and my sister were desperate, calling 911. My mom had various episodes like that, throwing tantrums on the street to prevent my dad from leaving her, and it was threatening to her life. To be honest, it was quite scary. Very scary. The kind of thing that traumatizes you. My dad is an enabler. He never protects me from my mother's verbal abuse. He is a victim of it himself. He now suffers from anxiety. When I was little and in school, my friends weren't nice to me. I had a best friend that once admitted to me that she was jealous of me, and my family, and my house. And then she hurted her wrists to show me she cared. I had to stay away. Also, the other classmates would bully me, calling me immature. I never did anything wrong. I was always cool with people and nice. But I think people take advantage of that. I suffered from bullying, and when I changed school, my old classmates posted my phone number on a dating website on my town. They posted my phone number and also that I offered adult services. I had an appendectomy before changing school and nobody came to visit me. I was 13 at the time, I think. I changed school and I made new friends there. But sadly, my new best friend disappointed me. I discovered on her Twitter account that she basically hated me. She knows my house, of course, because she visited me. She was my best friend, so I found the tweets repulsive. She would post that she thinks people with a pool in their house think they're better than everybody else. And also, if you have an air conditioner in your house, of course you're going to like summertime, because you have the air conditioner to provide a cold temperature, and that you think you're better than people. I'm not from the US, but I'd love to be, and she knows I'm a USA fan. She posted that people that want to move there are idiots. She was jealous of me. When I went to uni, my only sister moved away to another continent. She moved a few years ago, and I miss her every day. I felt like a part of me was gone. I would always meet with her friends when there were parties, but when she was gone I never saw them again. She was the glue that kept me and her friends together, and hanging out. The bad part about the fact that she left is that my mom was abusive towards her. She once told my sister that it would be a disgrace if she had children there. And anytime my sister would come to visit us, my mom would start screaming that she misses her, but she would get violent and abusive. She never hit her, but she was violent in the way she yelled and spoke. My dad would join her and not defend my sister, but defend my mom. Once, my dad ended up in the hospital due to blood pressure, and my mom ended up falling to the floor, to add some drama. She is mentally ill. My sister once told me she is afraid of being a mom because she doesn't want to be like our mom. Every time my mother and my sister do a video call, they end up fighting. Not because of anything my sister says/does, but because of my mother's harsh remarks and comments. It's like she's always looking for a fight. I'm getting tired of this, and it saddens me so much that they don't get along. 2 years after my sister, moved, my uncles and cousins moved to another continent, too. It was very hard for me because I had such a strong connection to my little cousins. I loved them so much, and they loved me too. I felt like another part of me was gone. They sold their house, of a lifetime, to move away. And I have plenty of memories in that house. I basically grew up there along with my little cousins. A year after, during the 2020 event, I lost my grandpa. And then the next year, I lost another one to cancer. Back in 2018, when there was no event, I also lost my grandma. It was like the starting point to all the losses. I only have one grandma left out of everyone. I'm 25 years old. And when I lost the one to cancer, that was also the same time my ex left me. It was very hard dealing with two losses at the same time. My ex was going away to another continent for an exchange program. See? Everyone was moving away. He was going to leave for 6 months and I couldn't stand another loss. I left crying from his farewell party and I got drunk because I had seen my grandpa being taken away and consumed by cancer just 7 days prior to that farewell party and my ex leaving. Also, my ex didn't talk to me during the party. He was talking to his friends and I told him that. He understood, but then when I told him that my parents grounded me for being drunk, he hated me and told me I was a little kid. He wanted me to go have dinner to his house 3 days before he would leave, and I couldn't go. I wasn't allowed to. He told me my parents didn't actually care about me and that if I didn't escape my house and defy them, then that meant I never really loved him or care about him. So then he asked for a break. During his time away, he posted photos being affectionate with other women, and I had to see it. This wasn't the first time he was mean to me. I remember once he wanted me to send him naughty photos. Or hot photos. When I said no, he said that it meant going backwards in our relationship, or taking one step back, because we did have special cuddles, and sending photos means much less than having special cuddles. He was manipulating me. I remember the first times we started dating and texting, he would reply maybe a day later, and I remember I had to remind him of our dates, because he is just so hands-off when it comes to communicating. I was the one asking him, specifically twice, "What are we?" And he would be like, "I don't believe in labels." But when I told him I did believe in labels, he compromised and we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but it lasted 1 month because then he left and asked for the break. He mentioned the break before, stating that his brother always takes breaks with his girlfriend when he goes away on trips. And that when he comes back, they see where they're at and maybe they get back together. I remember the moment I found out about his trip. We were going to the same singing teacher, and when I came to my class the teacher said to me, "Did he tell you about his trip?" Turns out he had told our teacher before me. There are a lot of things like this that I won't mention here because the post would get infinitely long. Disrespects, shady attitudes, and not to mention his activities with rugs. As I'm writing this, I can see how strong I am to face my reality and to put it into words, and to share it with you. If you have read this far, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Even though I can share my story, it doesn't mean it isn't heavy. I try every day to wake up with hopes. I am happy. I recognize that while dating my ex I felt anxious, I had social anxiety, and maybe he could see that. But I can't feel ashamed of that. It's part of my growth. Now thank God I'm better and I don't have the symptoms I used to have. I guess I held on to my ex because I feel alone. I suffered from way too many losses and I also wanted to have a partner to be with me. Because I can't comprehend why I would want to be with someone that has a hands-off approach and style of communication. Why? Why settle for someone that wasn't sure about what he wanted? He even once told me he felt like he wanted to slap me in the face while we were having cuddles. Right now I'm trying to put the pieces of my self-esteem back together. It's a struggle. Some days I even think that it would be amazing and pain-free not to be alive. Sometimes I think about my ex being happy with some other girl. I should also add that my family doesn't talk to me. My cousins are too bothered making money, and some of them are jealous of me. They don't send a message to see how I'm doing or anything. I only see them at birthdays and holidays, or when my sister comes to visit. That's when I see them. Otherwise, they don't even bother to send anything. Including uncles and aunts. They don't come to visit me.